Sometimes I think that you'll never understand me. Understand me. What's up, guys? Listen, before I even get started, let me give a great big old shout out of thank you to all of my viewers out there. Everybody who hangs in there with me, even through my diminishing views and subs and all of this stuff that YouTube is trying to do to me. I love seeing you guys in my comment section. I love the give and take, and I love learning something. You know, it's not just me talking here. I much prefer to listen. But of course, when the camera starts, I can't just be like, talk to me. No, I guess I kind of have to talk, right? But I love when you guys give me the feedback, right? So, on my last video I did, and it was entitled, Anthony Mackie's got some really bad advice for black kids. You guys might remember that, those few of you who saw that. And I really do thank all of you who watched that. You seem to get my message, what we were talking about. You understood where I was coming from, but I want to address one comment here because I feel like there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here and maybe a little twinge of disrespect, and I'm going to address this. And I'm going to dive right in. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. Thank you guys once again for your views. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your subs. And of course, thank you to everybody who contributes to the channel through the Super Thanks feature in each and every one of my videos. Thank you so much. Now, I did that last video and we were talking about the comments that Anthony Mackie made regarding lying to our kids. Now let me familiarize you with what he said here. I'm going to reiterate. He said, and this is Anthony Mackie talking, pearls of wisdom from Anthony Mackie. We're lying to our kids. That's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs, they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Okay, so we all heard it. We all heard what he said. He said if they do right, you can't tell, you're lying to your kids if you tell them to do right. You're lying to your kids if you tell them to get good grades. You lie to your kids when you tell them that hard work doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you're given, not what you work for, because success is given, not earned. Okay? I think Anthony Mackie might have taken it a little bit too personally when Captain America gave him the shield, right? I guess he didn't work for it. He was just given that. And Anthony Mackie is in that mind state. I don't know. Now, you guys know I did that video talking about it. And I have a comment here that I want to address because I feel there's a misunderstanding here. And this is from Quentin Christmas 9608. Brother Quentin says, I'm sorry, bro. Anthony Mackie is not lying. He's not wrong. That is the truth of this world. Even if it ain't your personal experience, talking about mine, what's a doubt? It's still the experience of the human race, the majority of people on this planet. That's the truth. In a perfect world, it would be a mediocrity. But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a very flawed world. A world run by corrupting, evil people who have the game rigged and know how to manipulate the system. He goes on, growing up, I watched too many people who believed in that lie, wasted their lives. I watched people who went to college and got a master's degree. Judging by the way you're writing this, you wouldn't have been one of them, Quentin. All love, bro. All love, all jokes. You can hold a master's degree. I don't know. I'm just poking fun. It's what I do. I have to be a little bit entertaining, bro. Maybe a little bit. I try. Okay, so they got master's degree. Be stuck in dead-end jobs for the rest of their lives, working 2-3 jobs, just barely making ends meet. Just because you want something to be true, talking about me now, just because you want something to be so, don't make it so. You, me now, you really need to get out of your personal feelings and just look at the world for what it really, really is, not just your own little bubble of the world. Woo! All right, Quentin, you really told me. That really shut me up, but I'm going to say something here, guys. Now, first of all, Quentin, I'm going to give you the benefit of the respect that you're not giving me. Okay. Anyone can tell that I am not some kid. All right. Not some like young dude. All right. Obviously I've been around and everything. Right. And if you remember in the video, right, because you seem to be implying that I am delusional, right? Like I'm in a bubble. I mean, these are your words. I'm in a bubble of my world here. Okay. I'm in denial about what the world really is. Somehow I'm not aware that you can fail in life no matter how hard you try. Oh my God, bro. If you only really knew me, you would understand how preposterous that notion even is. Okay. But I am going to tell you a couple of things about me real quick. All right. But let me just say this. All right. At the beginning of that video, you might recall that I literally said there's more than one way of looking at what Anthony Mackie said, right? There's more than one way of looking at it. I knew that there was more ways to interpret what he said. But I intentionally said that I wanted to take this from the position of being a father, because he started off by saying we're lying to our kids. You recall that? Okay, so I was very, very purposeful. If you watched that video, you might have noticed the way I was speaking. I was choosing my words extremely carefully, okay? I wanted it to be known that I was coming from a position of a father who tells my son that he has to work hard to achieve, okay? Now, when I say you have to work hard to achieve, there's a couple of things I want you to realize. When I'm speaking as a father, okay, and you guys know, well, I guess one of the more annoying things about me on this channel is that I'm always coming from the position of a father. I'm always talking about kids, about kids and my interest in the kids. People want a dark Superman. I'll be the one who will raise my hand and say, hold on, kids they don't need darkness. They need inspiration. They need optimism, right? I'm always that guy who's talking about that. I know a lot of people, they don't really care. Fuck the kids, I've heard people say before, right? But I don't believe that, because the kids really are literally our future, right? So it begins with, what do you tell the kids from the very beginning of their lives, right? As a father, I'm going to take it back. I taught my child how to walk. I assisted him in learning how to walk, taking his first steps, all right? Inevitably, he fell, all right? Before he even started to walk, should I have told him that it's a lie, that if you try hard to walk, you're just going to fall? So I shouldn't tell you to walk. I shouldn't tell you to try hard to walk. When it was time for him to ride his bike, and I was right there, I was present for all of it, when we took off the training wheels, did I tell him, don't try? We'll just leave the training wheels on for the rest of your life. No matter how hard you try, you're probably going to fall on that bike, right? That was to be understood, right? Anything that you try to do, the risk, the reality is there that you're going to fail, right? You work hard to minimize the chances or the impact of that fall, right? You have to keep going. When he got into basketball, we would go out onto the court and he would throw a tantrum when he was very little because he kept missing. I remember he threw himself down on the floor, and I told him, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere until you get back up and learn how to keep trying. Right? I don't expect you to hit 100%. I know that you're going to miss. I shot myself, right? I didn't shoot myself, but I shot baskets myself so he could see while he was flopping around on the floor like LeBron James. I was shooting baskets myself so he could see how many times his old man missed. By the way, I don't know how true this is, but I heard someone say before that in the NBA, you know who holds the record for the most misses? Stephen Curry. The guy who shoots the 3-pointers. You can tell I'm not that much into this dude, but yeah, Curry, right? He misses more than just about anybody else who shoots shots. Jordan also would miss. But who practices more? Who holds the stats? Who's breaking records? Because they know how to keep working. They know how to keep struggling to get success. That's the way this thing works, okay? It's not a matter of you will fail. This is life. You're right about that, Quentin. It is life that you will fail. All right. But implying that somebody is in some type of a bubble or in a state of denial just because they disagree that you're lying to kids. Okay. Now, maybe that's where the breakdown of understanding is, right? Because we're talking about kids here. That's the reason why I named the title of the video that he has some bad advice for black kids, because he was talking on a black forum, right? So he's talking about the problem in our community is that we teach our kids that success is given, not earned. Well, who gave Curry? Who gave him what he's got today? Who gave Jordan what he's got today? There is a certain degree, a large degree of working. And we talking about practice. Practice. We talking about practice. You got to practice. You got to work hard. You have to do these things. This is what you tell the kids. You know, this afternoon, after I pick up my son from getting his hair cut, we have to come back and practice. We have to work on his math because he's not doing so well in math right now, right? The only way he's going to get successful or have a chance of getting successful is by working hard to earn his grade. That's the way it works. This is something we used to know. But once again, my fear in messages like this, because, you know, people are always looking for excuses, Quentin. They're always looking for excuses, you know, especially in the black community. If you give somebody half a chance to say it's somebody else's fault, the reason why I'm failing, or I never stood a chance in the first place, that's why I'm failing, they're going to take it. You know what I mean? That's the way kids are, especially. You know, if kids get a hold of that message and they say, it doesn't matter if I get good grades, Dad. It doesn't matter how hard I work, Dad. I could hear my son saying that, you know, and I would never, ever accept that. Ever. I'm sorry, bro. It's like you expect me to say that, oh, no, Anthony Mackie is right. I'm going to play that clip for my child. I want him to hear that. No, don't. It doesn't matter if you get good grades. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's a lie how hard you work in life. You would be are you a parent, Quentin? You would be a piss poor parent if you actually told your kids that it doesn't matter. Yes, you prepare them for the inevitability of them falling, of them failing. That is true. That part is true. But that's not what Anthony Mackie said. He said it's a lie that we tell them, right? It doesn't matter. Success is given. It's not earned. And that is simply not true. All right? I understand what you're saying, bro, but what do you tell the kids is the question. That's where I'm coming from with all of this. All right? Bro, as for me being in my own bubble, I've talked about this before. I was married. I was married for 17 years, man. 17 years, right? And I was far from perfect as a husband, right? But I did all that I was capable of doing. I did all that was humanly possible for me to succeed in my marriage. I tried. She knows I tried. She watches these videos. She knows that I was deeply flawed. She was deeply flawed, and we still have great, great love for one another. We went through a lot together. You know, that she's still my girl. You know, she is. But the marriage didn't survive. No matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, in the end, it doesn't even matter. That's what you're saying, right? It's like you're Linkin Park up in here. You're Chester, right? I think that's who that was. But that's the point. 17 years trying my hardest, right? Believe me, I know what it means to try hard and to still fail, okay? During that time when my marriage was falling apart, I lost my brother. My brother's my best friend. I've talked about that on videos too. That sword behind me, that's his. You know, I have that up there in memory of him. You know, so every time you see me, you see him. You know, during that time, you know, marriage fell apart. Brother passed away. You know, I wanted him to fight. You know, he had an illness. I wanted him to fight no matter how hard. I wanted him to fight no matter how hard I prayed. Didn't work. You know, it wasn't meant to be. You know, but one thing I do know about my brother is that he would want me to continue to fight, to soldier on, to live my life, to overcome these things. You know, I had to pick my mother up. There's nothing like watching a mom who loses her child. Broke my heart, man. I had to be a strength for her. We could have all crumbled. You know what I mean? But you fight, man. You work hard. You work hard to give yourself a chance at happiness, at success, at contentment. You know, this is what you do. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I've talked about this on videos before. You know, some of the things that I had to go through when I was coming up and everything. It's a lot of reason why I do what I do, you know, because I want people to understand if I could come through it, you can come through it, but you have to fight, man. You know, you have to push forward. There's always the chance that you're going to fail. From the minute you take your first step, like I said before, from the minute my son took his first step, he was going to fall. From the minute he got on that bike for the first time, he was going to fall. From the minute he took that shot with the basketball, he was going to miss. You know, he plays football now. He had to work through an injury last year. He was so upset about this. He wanted to quit. I told him, no, get back up, man. You got to fight. You got to soldier on. You got to push, man. There's no such thing as success is given. It's not earned. Yes, you can put yourself in a position where someone can give you an opportunity. Yes, you can do that. But if you don't work to make yourself worthy of that, if you don't work to make yourself a competitor to compete, then you won't stand a chance. You will fail at every shot that you don't take. That is a fact. That's the fact of life. Okay, that's me talking from my little bubble. All right, I got battle scars like you would never imagine, and I'm not alone. That's the reason why Anthony Mackie is getting these blowbacks. There's nothing special about me. This is a human condition. All right, but my perspective was about the kids. Okay, I've been through what I've been through. The only reason why I'm bringing up myself is because you're the one who said that I'm the one who's in my own little bubble. I'm the one who's delusional. All right, I'm talking about how we give hope to our children. Silly me, but that's what I will always represent, and I will never be sorry for that. Okay, so let's just get that straight. Now, I don't have any hard feelings towards you, Quentin. It's just something that I had to put out there because when I read it, I was like, you know what? I could write a comment here, but number one, I suck at writing comments, especially long ones. Nobody reads that shit. Or I could just do a video just in case there's anyone else out here who misunderstands what I was talking about. We're talking about he addressed that we're lying to the kids. And that's where I was coming from. Okay? That was it. All right. I think I touched on just about every talking point that I wanted to get there. And okay, so there it is. Okay, guys. For everyone else, you can get in the comment section and you can let me know how you feel about this. I mean, as I said on the last video, that's the wrong message for black people right now, okay? We know something about failing, all right? There's no denial about that. You know, there's no delusion about that. We know something about failing, but we used to know how to fight. We used to know how to get back up and dust ourselves off and keep trying. We never got anywhere waiting for somebody to give us anything. And I fear that we're in that position right now where we're just waiting for someone to give us something. We want this, we want that, you know, but I remember the old documentary series from way back in the day, Eyes on the Prize. And it used to begin by saying, I know the one thing we did right was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Oh no, oh no. Keep your eyes on the prize and keep going, man. Keep fighting, keep striving, and don't listen to things like success is given and it's not earned. That's just how I feel about it. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about all of this. And thank you for listening. Quentin, thank you. You're a frequent contributor to the channel as far as comments. You've made many comments. You always bring a different perspective. You're even something of a contrarian, I think. But that's okay. It's like contrarians, they tend to challenge us. And that's the reason why I gave you the respect and the benefit of this type of reply. All right, guys, check you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.